Love takes over every fucking thought. You have to consider that person and all the big decisions in your life. You have to think about how they'll feel all the time. It takes over every part of you. Happiness is me when I was single before I met my fiancée. Going to a warehouse rave on a Tuesday. Taking my body weight in ecstasy, madam. All the ecstasy. Hitting that dance floor, just fucking... Meeting a gorgeous girl on the dance floor. Our minds, our bodies connect, the drugs, the music, the euphoria. And then at the end of the night, 6 a.m, when the club is closing and the sun is rising, like a gentleman, I take that beautiful girl back to her doorstep. And there, romantically, for the first time, blow cocaine in her arsehole.
Jeff Leach on the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, we got news. Jeff Leach is checking on his dog, making sure he's not getting into things.
I just put a little leash on her so she doesn't run around your workshop.
All right.
I'm so curious of who's going to run. Yeah.
Who's going to run?
For the independent.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you after the show, but yeah, I just promised that I would keep it quiet, so I realized.
Can I do one guess? Can I have one guess?
Sure, yeah.
Because I know you know RuPaul. Would it be RuPaul?
No, it's not RuPaul, although that would be amazing. I'd love to see RuPaul.
I'd fucking kill myself.
We were friends. We haven't been friends for a long time.
Oh, really? You're falling out?
Yeah, no, we didn't have a falling out. I just think, I don't know. It was either he wasn't interested in hanging out with me, which could be it, or maybe his initial interest in hanging out with me was he wanted to fuck me and then realized I was straight and that I wasn't interested in that. But that's probably my ego speaking. I think he just didn't want to hang out anymore.
I don't feel like he needs 57 Emmy nods.
Yeah, he also doesn't need any new friends. That's probably what it is. He's got enough friends. He's probably happy.
His Emmys can keep him friends.
Yeah, exactly. He just lines them all up in his front room and has parties with them.
Yes. All right, what do you got?
Some more Super Bowl stuff. So Brandon Marshall, who we've talked to on a few of the podcasts, so he was doing an interview and he's telling a story.
Wait, ex-wideout?
Yeah.
For the Bears?
Yeah. He wore the green cleats.
Yeah, set the table, though. Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm not a household.
Ex-NFL star Brandon Marshall.
Yes.
So he was doing an interview and he's talking about how he saw Kanye at the Super Bowl. And he says Kanye pulled up to Vegas, buys a ticket right in front of Taylor Swift's booth. And then he says that Taylor got upset. She makes a couple calls. He gets kicked out of the stadium.
Wow.
Because he was trying to leverage her celebrity. So he came in like in a mask with his logo on it. So every time they cut to Taylor, he would be in the shot.
Uh-huh.
And she don't. And this is according to Brandon. Supposedly she didn't want that, and she got him kicked out.
You can buy that game day at a spot in front of Taylor's booth.
Depends how much money you got,
game?
probably.
He bought a Super Bowl commercial. He could probably buy that game day.
Oh, so someone else bought the ticket though a year ago or something,
Right,
and
sure.
you buy it off that person.
Yeah, or maybe it came with the commercial. You know what I mean? You drop 10 mil or whatever it is on the commercial.
Oh, maybe. Did
We
you
give
see
you a
his
little
commercial?
seat.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
Was it
kinda
terrible? Was
crazy.
it great?
Yeah, he filmed it all. It looks like he just filmed it on his cell phone, like a selfie mode.
In like back of a Uber.
Yeah, I'll play you a little bit of it if you want to.
It was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Wait, this is...
And it's my commercial. And since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we actually didn't spend any money on the actual commercial.
It just goes on for 30 seconds. Just says like, go to my website. I got shoes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I got shoes. That's what he says.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's crazy. But maybe he's just a provocateur. Maybe we're all just.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
That actually didn't air in LA though. He just bought it regionally, so he didn't spend the full $7 million on that.
Where'd he air it?
It's unclear everywhere it aired, but Miami's definitely one of the places.
Oh,
That's
I didn't
crazy.
see it.
Yeah.
That's why I thought.
That's why we didn't see it. Yeah.
That's why we didn't see it. Okay. You
But-
can do regional stuff.
Right. So a couple things. So Taylor was actually. They counted every second she was on the screen during the Super Bowl, 54 seconds. Mm-hmm. It was the most watched telecast in history of the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah. And was that the Taylor effect?
It was up 10% from last year's Super Bowl. It was 123.4 million average viewers across all platforms.
It's got to be. It's pretty high, isn't it?
Listen. Here's my theory. My theory is as we argue over sort of meritocracy, the true meritocracies get more enticing to the people. So we have to sit around in society where we go, Kamala Harris, is she there because she's good, or is she just because she's a black woman?
Right.
And then we just ran into it with the president of Harvard, and now all this DEI talk, and people are going, are these all just affirmative action hires? And the Oscars have been polluted by it. All the award shows have been polluted by it, where you go, is this really the best film of the year, or is it because it had the first Asian female director or whatever, and they've polluted everything? And so everything is brought into question. But the pure meritocracies, and that is the Super Bowl and the heavyweight MMA fight and all this stuff, that's pure. Nobody questions it. And now it becomes rarer, and it becomes more attractive. And I don't think people understand why they're attracted to it, but they're attracted. When you see those two heavyweight MMA guys get in the ring or in the octagon, nobody questions who his dad is, or is that guy there just because he's black and they wanted it. They don't. They go, these are the two best.
Sure.
That's it. And that's what we want, but we don't really articulate it, but that's what we want. And that's why the Academy Awards and all the award shows are going to continue to be on the decline. And prestigious colleges and stuff are going to be on the decline, and the Super Bowl just keeps moving up.
Right.
But then, alongside that, in parallel, Taylor Swift is the most fucking basically talented person in Hollywood in so many ways.
What do you mean?
I mean, her voice is fucking average. She can't dance for shit.
Yeah.
She looks like every white woman I've ever seen in my entire life. If I had to draw an average white woman, I'd draw Taylor Swift. I don't think there's any redeeming qualities about her. What she is, though, is a great businesswoman who had amazing financial funding from her family to get into the industry.
Oh, really?
Just like Dua Lipa, same as Dua Lipa.
Really?
Well, yeah, because her dad bought like 1 million copies of her first album. That's how
Dua
Taylor
Lipa
Swift.
did?
No, Taylor Swift. That's how her career
sorry,
started.
but you switched
just
to Dua
mention-
Lipa.
How did Dua Lipa's parents help?
Same
her?
thing.
Okay.
They
Same
bought
thing.
1 million copies?
Her
too?
father bought to push her into the charts into the top
well then,
top
true.
charts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like dog shit. I hate seeing someone like that get so much attention, because I know there's 1 million other more talented artists out there who don't get a fair whack.
Right.
Yeah, we have to get used to that.
But that's Hollywood. That is Hollywood. You've been in this business long enough to know the nepotism is rife throughout this. It's people's families, parents, this, that, and the other. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
I don't know purely about the nepotism part, but
Look at any of the major Hollywood A-listers who are working in Hollywood in major movies and films. All of them are either their uncle, their auntie, their father, their brother. All of them are related to someone who has already gone before with major success and then has brought them into the fold. That's how it works.
like Tom Cruise is a famous something.
Well, Tom Cruise, I don't know. Tom Cruise,
Or Tom
there's
Hanks.
going to be some exceptions to the rule. Also, you're talking about actors who are getting up there in age. They're in their 50s, 60s. I'm talking about
The new hot stars.
Anyone in their 20s, 30s, 40s currently working at a high level. The majority of them are, so-and-so's son or so-and-so's daughter or so-and-so's cousin or niece. Even ones you don't even know about, you find out, they're like, look at Nicolas Cage. Isn't his fucking, his uncle
He's a
Francis
Coppola.
Ford, he's a Coppola. It's like, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Cage, though, he changed his name to Cage,
get away
not
from it, yeah.
not to be a Coppola.
Yeah, but he fucking did all right.
I'm not as dour about it or as sure about it as you are. I think it exists, but it exists in the furniture industry as well.
Sure,
I just think it
get you.
exists, but I think when you were talking, the first people that leapt in my head was like Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks. I was thinking like, they're older.
You love a bit of action. No, but those are older guys. Those are older guys.
And
who
I'm
do it.
trying to think who the newer guys like Timothy with two fucking
Timothy
E's.
Chalamet.
Two
Yeah,
E's.
Timothy Chalamet. Let's see if he's got any famous people in the industry. They pop one or two in every few years. They pop a couple of unknowns, and they go, "Look, we've this unknown actor, Tom Holland." Tom Holland was a great example. Tom Holland, and he's very talented. Like I like Tom Holland. He's good at what he does. He's a good actor. He's done great. He's worked on his body. Oh, blah blah blah. Well, congratulations. But his, but his dad is still Dominic Holland, who's an established TV personality in the UK. His agent, he got his agent through, his father's relationship. Jack Whitehall, another comedian. He's who's seemingly out of nowhere, but then you find out his father was a massive agent, and there's a lot of nepotism, man. It's hard. I think it's hard to break through as just a person who's good at their art, because to really get ahead. In TV in the UK, certainly, to get ahead, you either had to know the right persons, you had to be in those rooms, which these people grow up in those rooms, or you had to do coke in a bathroom with someone, and you can't do that shit anymore. In the 90s and early 2000s, if you did coke with a TV producer at a party, they went, you know what? I like you. I'm going to get you on my TV show.
I wonder if there's more nepotism in the UK than there is here.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
More here?
Yo, they could pull it up. If they go famous relationships, parents, kids of famous, Hollywood A-listers who have famous parents, it'll be, I imagine, 90% of the top 1,000 working actors in Hollywood.
I'll read you a few of them. Zoe Kravitz, Dakota Johnson, Maude Apatow, Hailey Bieber.
But Maude, I don't know how wildly successful Maude Apatow is. That's what I'm saying.
She's blown up. Yeah, she's blown up.
She sits courtside at Knicks games.
She's been in all of his movies now.
No, I know she does all his movies, but is she?
No, she was in what's that show on HBO with Zendaya?
Yeah.
I forgot that.
I don't know the name of it, but Euphoria, right?
Euphoria, yeah. She's.
I just don't. I don't know if most people would know that name. That's all. But anyway,
yeah. So
blowing up.
I mean, look, Taylor Swift's so big that it was revealed that Travis Kelce, when he moved last year, remember he moved to a new mansion. It was because fans were camping out in front of his house. And then when he moves to this new gated community, the first day somebody's knocking on his back window.
I don't have any beef with Taylor Swift. Nepotism, I mean, that's how nepotism works. Or, not sorry, how nepotism works. I don't know that nepotism is a dirty word, per se.
It's not a dirty word. I know it's what Hollywood is. It's just it's either that or money.
Well,
or
there's a bunch.
The right dick.
There's a whole bunch of people who are trying to do a job that a lot of people could do.
Right.
And that's going to create something already.
Sure.
So there's a whole bunch of people that want to play shortstop for the New York Yankees, but there's only 2 guys who can really do it, or 5 guys. You know what I mean? So this is a weird situation where acting could be this guy. I mean, you always do that. You can go back and you go, Indiana Jones was supposed to be played by Tom Selleck. They always do that. This guy was supposed to play that role. That guy was supposed to play. It's a anyone can do it kind of job for the most part until you get into this really rarefied air of really seriously talented actors. But other than that, it's your age, your look, and anyone can do it. So you're going to have a bunch of people wanting to do a bunch of jobs that almost anyone can do, and that's where nepotism kicks in. Their dad's going to. But I realize as a dad, I have a 17-year-old son. He likes sports. He likes sports talk. He does his podcast, so on and so forth. And then I find myself sitting around because I watch football with a guy who works for Colin Cowherd's show. He's a popular sports guy. So then I find myself saying to Scott, hey, Scott, you work for Cowherd? Yeah. My son's into sports and he wants to do broadcasting.
Can you come in and intern and blah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, can he come in and intern and check it out or whatever, and then he goes, yeah, I think we can, whatever. And I realize I'm now inserted myself.
I'm now part of the problem.
I'm now part of the problem. But when I was 19 and rudderless, my mom knew a guy who was a merchant marine named Bill, and I had no job and no place to go, whatever. And I said to my mom, can you ask Bill if he could help me get in and be a merchant marine? Most of the guys, I was a carpenter. I got $14 an hour, but the guys who worked for the studios, they got $34 an hour in full benefits,
Right.
And it was always do you know a guy over there that can get me in to be, I didn't know anybody, and it never worked. But the point is that's going on a sort of micro, macro,
100%.
Big and small. That's going on multi-million-dollar contracts, and it's going on for merchant marines.
You're correct.
Too,
yeah.
And everyone who makes the longshoreman union. That's just the nature of the human experience. So I don't I don't really dissect it that much because it sort of is, and I don't know what we're going to get away from it.
Sure. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with any of that.
And Taylor Swift is, pretty generic, and I agree with you on most.
She's a
of
good
what
songwriter.
she says.
Actually. I'll say that
that's her
she writes very very good.
But
hit
she
songs.
writes good songs.
Yeah.
She's prolific, and she has a work ethic. And
That's
so,
it.
you can, Daddy can give you the job in the corner office, but he can't motivate you to show up weekends and,
No, you're
and get the
100%
work
right.
in. And
You're 100% right.
anyone who burns calories, I'll give them their due.
Did you
That
like? I
person
mean, look, you
works.
like talking about race. Did you like her diversity hire for her friendship group of having Ice Spice? That was hilarious. All these like really white girls, the whitest white of white girls, pumpkin spice latte, fucking crew 2024, and then just Ice Spice in the middle of it. Like, what am I doing
Why am I
here?
Yeah.
It is a little suspicious when people just start showing up who you've formerly never seen in the posse before.
So I'm going to be on TV. I better make myself appear a little more diverse in my
Kanye's out
friendship
of the
group.
picture.
She should have put Ice Spice on her shoulders and been feeding her. Just had like a bag of snacks.
Yeah.
Like a kid.
Does Ice Spice have the fart song?
Yes.
All right, well, she knows what she's
Yeah.
doing. She's singing about farts.
We're talking about great songwriting.
We're talking
sure.
about great songmanship. yeah.
So speaking of Kanye, so Ozzy Osbourne was really upset with Kanye because, and this is his tweet. I guess Kanye asked for permission to sample a section of a live performance of Iron Man from the U.S. festival without vocals. And
Wait, you're talking about the US Festival?
Oh, US Festival. Sorry, it was refused. It's all caps. So
Yeah, I know. It's just called the US
yeah,
Festival.
was refused permission. This is how mad Ozzy is. He wrote it in all caps. He's yelling this. This tweet
He didn't write anything.
Was refused permission because he is an anti-Semite and has caused untold heartache to many. I want no association with this man.
That's
Because
not
he-
technically what he said. What he actually said was,
I think Sharon typed that one out.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, anyway, yeah, he's really upset with Kanye, but there's some good news for Ozzy. He is nominated for the 2024 induction of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh.
he absolutely should be in that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I never really cared that much for
Well, he's in
music,
with
but-
Sabbath. He's in with
It's with
Sabbath,
Sabbath,
but
yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne has sold more records than Sabbath. Like he should be in as a solo
You
artist.
sound like you should be in Sabbath. Jesus Christ, that's a rock and roll voice right there.
I saw Ozzy at his last, what I knew was going to be his last concert in Los Angeles ever. I believe it was at Staples. It could have been at the Forum, but Ozzy came out and he was very unimpressed with the lackluster response from the audience in Los Angeles, which is what happens in LA. You go to shows.
Can I just say, I'm
So-
getting a half erection just listening to your fucking voice. I've never heard your voice before. This is.
So Ozzy gets up on stage and he's like, Los Angeles, what's wrong with you? Come on, make some noise and we're not going to play. All right, here's Iron Man. And I'm like, Ozzy, that's not how you do a threat. He literally said,
out.
in that exact time, he said, if you don't start making noise, we're not going to play. 2, 3. All right, here's Iron Man.
There you go.
The song everyone came for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he on his feet the whole time, or did he?
He was on his feet.
Oh, okay.
He was on his feet. But
All right.
yeah, you could tell it was over.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sure Sharon tapped that thing out on.
Yeah. I mean, she mentioned it on this show. So about him getting nominated. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So you want to hear some of the other nominees?
Sure. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame: Mary J. Blige,
Okay, not rock and roll, but okay.
Mariah Carey,
Not rock and roll, but okay.
Cher,
Definitely not rock and roll, and pretty shitty songs.
Dave Matthews Band,
Rock and roll. I mean, sort of not rock and roll, but songs.
Eric B. and Rakim,
Don't know who that is.
hip hop duo.
I feel like that's a.
Well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't
Nickelodeon
just
show.
exclusively rock and roll now music.
It
is
was, and then it got sort of bastardized.
It gets better. Foreigner,
All right, rock and roll.
Peter Frampton,
Rock and roll.
Jane's Addiction,
Rock and roll.
Cool in the Gang.
Not rock and roll. And they got that Celebrate, their big song. I mean, they have Celebrate, which I fucking hate, or it's fucked out. I never want to hear it again. And then they have a slow song. Dawson can look
Get
up.
Down.
Cherish. It's called Cherish.
Cherish
the life we had.
Cherish the love. Oh no, they sing "Get Down" on it.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be
that's your
let.
fave.
They shouldn't be let into an IKEA. much less the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Get Down on It is the worst fucking song ever written, which I know I've announced about 26 songs on this podcast, but if you listen to Get Down on It, the part that angers me about Get Down on It goes, get down.
The song, but do you remember this
You
one?
were bopping along to it a little
just
bit, though. You
fucking-
couldn't help
I
it.
know, but it's Passion by Rod Stewart, because I heard that song the other day and I realized there isn't a song I hate more than Passion.
Okay. Also, after Kool and the Gang, we have Lenny Kravitz,
He's rock and roll.
That's rock and roll, but
Oasis. Yeah. Sinead O'Connor.
I actually, you know what? Unpopular opinion for a Brit, but I fucking hate Oasis.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I can't stand it.
I am not a huge
Overhyped. I hated his whole persona. Liam Gallagher. I couldn't stand him.
Have your riff at the end of the
the
song.
president.
Just sing about passion. And the first thing he says was, even the president needs passion. You have to look at the okay, why?
Oh, okay.
Why?
I didn't read into it as much. I think Reagan was president in 80.
Reagan got elected in 80.
Oh, when he
And do you
took
think-
office in 80? He didn't take
I believe
office in
so.
80?
And I mean, listen, if you say anything about Reagan, one thing you can say is he had a lot of passion.
Passion.
He did.
See,
Jimmy
I
Carter
think
needed
he
some.
entered in 80. I think Reagan was the president for this
one of
song.
them needed passion.
All right. Either way, that's the worst song ever.
And then two more. So-
Reagan took office in 81.
Oh, he didn't take until 81. All right, sorry, my bad.
what do you think of Sade?
Sade.
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 No one
Sade?
knows who Sade is, but
Sorry.
Sade. Sade.
Sade is pronounced Sade. I don't even know.
oh, come on, man.
Sade. Have you never
Come on,
had sex?
Mexipan.
What the fuck is wrong
I
with you? How
haven't,
do
I
you not-
guess.
You
Not-
don't
I
know
guess not.
Sade?
No.
Yeah, I think
Oh, yeah. So that's what Cupid has in mind.
Nice.
It's on the love
right.
hearts. A Tribe Called Quest. So,
Love Tribe Called Quest.
so there you go.
All right.
You're not a fan. And I love Eric B. and Rakim as well. Actually, to be honest.
I like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, you want rock and roll. You're a purist in all
I
forms.
think they
Adam.
should start a music Hall of Fame that it was an umbrella that covered music. But-
Actually, there is a hip hop Hall of Fame as well, isn't there?
Should put rock bands in there.
yeah, I'm saying if there's a hip hop Hall of Fame and Ted Nugent is trying to get in,
There you go.
they
Yeah.
would say no, that's not our format, and
Yeah.
I would back them for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't
get
like
you.
that the rock and roll has gotten into Sade and others and Kool and the Gang and stuff like that because it's not rock and roll.
I feel
So
you.
that's it. But look, I like that In-N-Out Burger just sells burgers and fries. They don't do tamales. They don't do fiesta salads. Like, they just do burgers and fries. That's fine.
Yeah.
And if you want a fiesta salad, then you can go across the street to the Chipotle and get a
Right,
fiesta
right, right.
salad.
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is the world I want to live in. And we're living
You
in
like
a world
everything
now.
segregated.
Segregated.
In its place.
Yes, you get your drinking fountain. You get your drinking fountain. That's the America I dream of. All right, what else is going on?
Speaking of that, there was a theft of a bronze Jackie Robinson statue that was cut off at the ankles and found days later smoldering in a trash can in a city park in Kansas. They've caught the man. He's a 45-year-old man. So they cut this Jackie. So the only thing left are the shoes.
Well, where's the word smoldering come in?
Okay, so there's no evidence that this was a hate-motivated crime, but rather the intent was to sell the metal for scrap.
Oh, wow.
Oh, but when you say smoldering, what does that mean?
I think they're trying to.
It partially melted
melting
down.
it down.
In a trash can in a park?
Yeah.
Oh, so they were
have been a metal tin.
They were heating it up.
They're
in
heating it. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah. So they cut the bronze statue from its base last month.
Yeah.
And there are about 600 children who play in this youth baseball league by there. And
And not one of them thought to call the police when they watched this homeless
I
dude
know, that's
with a hacksaw try
insane.
desperately
Well-
to get through the ankles.
So security camera says it was a crew that did it, but they only arrested one guy.
Also, bronze is no joke. That's pretty heavy, bronze.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they do that?
And what city was this in?
It's in it's City Park in Kansas.
Oh, that's why. There's
We're
no one there.
getting-
No one lives in Kansas, do they?
No. Well, they did, but they moved here.
They all got taken away by tornadoes to the land of Oz.
Okay, so here's a bad sign. No, I will explain signs and bad signs
Right.
for communities, for countries, for cities. Pickpockets and people stealing wallets and things of that nature.
Right.
That's as old as the Bible,
Sure.
and that's fine. I mean,
Involves some training.
and we don't while we don't condone it, we just realize it exists.
We respect it.
It's we have to live with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get into certain other crimes where there's holdups or there's robberies or they rob banks and
Cowards.
stuff like that. And we kind of get that's a part of the fabric of living in a society. But then at a certain point, you get into these crimes that are more like carjackings and stuff like
Stealing
that.
people's carburetors off the bottom, yeah.
Stealing people's catalytic
Catalytic
converters and
yeah,
using
yeah.
the heavy metals in them and stuff. Pulling out copper wiring from conduit that runs along the side of houses, stealing Jackie Robinson's statue and
Yeah,
smelting it in a trash can. And now we're getting into sort of apocalyptic end of days shit.
Yeah.
We're like one step away from these. We had a whole crew that was stealing the fillings out of corpses' teeth and melting it down. Like we're getting into weird, desperate.
Post Malone better watch
Stealing
out.
garden
Yes.
gnomes and selling them to old ladies.
Yeah, there's the run of the mill. Oh, the guy left his briefcase out and somebody stole it, or the porch pirate stuff. You know,
Sure,
that's just
sure.
pickpocket, basic, and also the kind of like kids going into stores and stealing candy and stuff. Just run of the mill stuff.
What happened to the honor amongst thieves? That's what we're saying.
And then you're getting into we're stealing basic elements: aluminum, copper, bronze, and that speaks of a kind of now we're getting into Thunderdome shit. We're getting into post-apocalyptic hellscape stuff.
Yeah.
That's where we're heading. And I would argue it's time to pump the brakes and take a look. What is really going on here?
What do you think's going on?
What's going on is lots of desperate people, lots of drugs.
Yeah.
That whenever there's desperation, think drugs.
Sure.
Right.
So lots of desperation means drug fueled. Broken families help sort of till the soil for the drug addicts and thus the desperate moves. And then it's a mix.
And poverty, obviously.
And poverty, but poverty doesn't make you a thief. I know that's a common thing that you probably subscribe to, but it doesn't historically
it
make
applies
you
in some
a thief.
areas, yeah.
Well, if you have stuff, you do less thievery, but
Sure.
you can still be a drug addict. You just don't steal Jackie Robinson statues.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
steal
yeah.
from your stepdad.
But this guy was homeless, correct? Or was it, or was he not? Was he just
we don't.
on the out and out, or was he homeless? I thought there was a group of homeless people. Because if I was homeless, I'd be like, well, I live outside the confines of the normal common law.
I think it's drug addict
Well, yeah,
stuff.
45 years old, jailed on a $150,000 bond. He was also charged with identity theft and making false information in October of 2022 involving a pawn ticket.
Oh, so he's a career criminal.
So, and then it's mixed with cops pulling back and a sort of society sort of generally kind of looking the other way, and now we have this.
And now you got to stare at Jackie Robinson's ankles.
Right? Yeah,
I know.
I think like a radio tower was even stolen recently.
So we will steal anything that's made of a metal that we can melt down,
Right.
which
That's the
again,
thing.
bad sign.
The gargoyles at the top of that building in New York City.
That's
Oh,
right, the
those are next.
Chrysler.
The Chrysler.
Yeah. So they said that to replace the statue, they still have the mold, so they can replace it. It'll be about $50,000 to replace it.
Why? If they got the mold, they've got the bronze. They just melt down the bronze and put it back in a mold.
Make it out of the same bronze.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, their donations have been pouring in. They've already got over $300,000.
See, I don't think it was anything to do with that guy. I don't think the guy stole it in the first place. That was just that they just pinned it on him. It was just the city wanted an extra $300K out of the poor residents of Kansas.
If the guy was smart who got busted, he would have said Jackie Robinson was a slave owner, and that's why I took the statue down. And then everyone would have been all befuddled, and then he could have got on with his life. Yeah.
This was a political statement.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I was actually going to melt it down, get the money, and then give it back to people as
That's right.
reparations.
You don't
That's
let
right.
me finish? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So there's this new TikTok trend, and I just want to warn all the listeners out there that if your significant other asks you to retrieve a peeled orange, it is a trap. So it's this new challenge where you want to see if like your boyfriend
Well, you're saying retrieve a peeled orange.
or like bring you a peeled orange.
Would you,
Peel
would
an
you grab me,
orange
would you
for
grab me
me.
an orange, Adam? And then you go, okay,
And
sure. You
peel
go,
it,
actually,
yeah.
would you mind peeling it for me?
So
And
you
they
just
film
two
you.
steps.
Yeah.
Two steps.
First step is
But
Get
like
me
you
an
guys are
orange.
watching
Pass me that bit
TV
of
or
fruit,
you're
yeah.
doing something or whatever
All right,
it is.
then will
like,
you peel it for me?
will you give me a peeled orange, and then they film you, and then depending on how you react, and there's a lot of guys that will do it instantly, and some don't, and it's they're basing their relationship off this.
Yeah.
People know my hygiene habits and where my fingernails have been, and they don't want me anywhere near their orange.
I mean, you've been fingering to Sade.
never-
We all know
I
that.
finger blasted
right.
a
It's Valentine's
Sade
Day.
the entire afternoon, and you want me to peel your orange? You know I don't use
You're a
Corral.
madman. You're a madman.
Yeah, never ask for it while smooth operator's playing.
That's right. So I get myself out of that duty by just
Easy.
having hands that have never been washed, that
Yeah.
have transmission fluid on the and the juice of women in the cuticles built
so
in.
you'll never have to worry about that.
what is the right answer? To do it?
Yeah. Well, a lot of the guys who are doing it, they're praised, while everyone just laughs or says that the other guys are dicks. But yeah, they're they do a lot of these relationship challenges where they secretly film you and ask you to do tasks. And
If I'm sitting on the couch next to my partner, I don't have a partner, but if I were sitting on the couch next to a partner and she went, "Do you mind getting me an orange?" and I was sat down with her, I would say, "Well, why don't you go get yourself an orange? You got legs." If
Right.
I was up and in the kitchen, she went, "Yo, could you grab me an orange?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure."
right.
If she went, "Do you want to peel it?" I go, "What's wrong? Is your fingernails? Do you have a cut on your fingers? What's the issue?"
I think, because the next iteration here is you feeding it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where this is going.
See,
right?
I'd be more likely to skip out the peeling part, but then the feeding part, yeah, I'd feed an orange to a woman.
don't
Gently
see my.
feed some grapes to a.
I do. I am amazed at. I remember once. Can't remember what it was, but I was like sitting on my sofa, and my daughter was like standing in the room in my office, and she went like, "Can you go downstairs and go get the whatever?" And I was like,
Your
"You're-"
daughter said that to you.
Yeah, I go, "You're closer to it than I am."
I would have said, "Can
know
you
what I mean?
pay fucking rent?"
Yeah, I know, but the point is there is a group of people that are sort of cool with, can you get up and go get me the whatever?
Simps.
Which
Simps.
yes, and I find this insane. Yes, if you're in the kitchen, they're allowed to yell down the hall, "Can you bring an orange when you come back?"
Absolutely, that's cool.
If you're both sitting in the same spot, she's sitting there, she's got her knees tucked up and her shoes on the sofa.
This is
staying
why
in
you
it.
need to start beating your child, Adam.
You're right. I'm going to do that.
And I love the idea that you would have waited 17 years to raise a hand. And at the ripe old age of 17, you go, "Right, today's the day.
Today's the day.
Happy Valentine's Day, bitch." Bam! One of those.
All right, Linda Hamilton is going to join us. You know her from everything, but probably most specifically Terminator and that whole franchise. Jeff, let me give you a plug.
Thanks, man. I'm going to be in Vegas. If anyone's into seeing some comedy, I'll be in Las Vegas doing a residency at the Comedy Cellar from March 11th to 25th. But if you would like to check out my brand
At
new
the
podcast,
Rio Hotel, by the way.
That's right, at the Rio Hotel. Because don't throw that in. I don't want people to know it's at the Rio. Comedy Cellar, beautiful venue inside the Rio. And
good enough for Penn and
Gillette.
Teller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely. The venues are great. The casino is being refurbished as we speak by Caesars. But yeah, and also please check out my new podcast, Comic Cougar Convo, available on YouTube and Patreon. You can get the episodes early, plus lots of behind the scenes footage, etc., etc.
All right. Always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you, dude.